Congratulations, you've retired, but now what are you going to do with your time? Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. My name is Grant Ellis. I'm the owner and founder of Ellis Retirement Services. We help people prepare for and enter retirement. And you have now made it. You have entered retirement. And a lot of people come to us and say, what do I do now? More specifically, what do I do with my time? How do I fill my time? You might not think that this would be a problem, but it can be a problem when you enter retirement and you don't have any idea of what you're going to do to fill your time. With our clients, we talk a lot about the people, the purpose, and the plan of retirement. The people that you spend your time with, the purpose of what you're going to be doing, and the plan for how you're going to be doing it, both financially and non-financially. And included in that plan is how you're going to spend your time. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to give you some ideas of how you might want to spend your time in retirement. But let's first paint the picture. Let's say that you've been saving your money and working for 50 years or more. You've reached the age of 65 or 67, and you've decided it is time for work to be optional. In reality, that's what retirement is work becomes optional. You retire, you leave the job that you've been full-time at for so long, and you enter a new stage. What we often find is that people, once they enter the stage of retirement, tend to get bored if they don't have a very specific plan. And even though you might not think you'll ever want to work again, oftentimes that becomes an option in retirement for multiple reasons. First, people like to stay busy. They don't want to lay in their house and watch TV. You can only watch so much TV before you'll go insane and waste away. And so they try to fill their time with other things such as hobbies. Guess what? You might love golf or tennis, but you can only play so much golf or tennis before you get bored. So oftentimes, even if it's not immediately, people come to us and say, you know what? I'm thinking about going back to work. And I know this might sound scary because if you're thinking about retirement, you're probably thinking, I am never going to work another day in my life. But work is different when it's optional. When you can do the work that you want to do on your terms and in your hours, it can actually be a really fulfilling and helpful part of being quote unquote retired. You can earn a little bit of income, you can do something you enjoy with people you enjoy, and you can add a lot of fulfillment to your life. So what kind of work can you do in retirement? Today, I'm going to give you some ideas, and I call it my retirement jobs list. Because I think so much about retirement so that I can help take care of the clients that we work with, I keep a lot of notes on my phone. Things that come to me when I'm on vacation or with my kids or with my family or even with my clients that I want to remember, I jot them down in my phone. And a long time ago, I remember thinking, you know what? That would be a really fun job to do if I was retired. So I started keeping a note on my phone of jobs that I might want to do when I retire, and today I'm going to share that with you. Sometimes we need to get very specific with the options that we have in retirement. Again, work might sound like something you have no interest in doing, and then you start to think, well, it's not work if I really enjoy it. That's the way I look at potential jobs for retirement. These jobs can be part-time. You can do them one day a week. You can do them a few days a week. Many times our clients begin to do work that they love, and they love it so much, they actually increase their hours. They like it. They like the purpose it adds to their lives. They enjoy the extra income, and they can't imagine not working. And as long as they are healthy, they plan on working in this job. But to be able to understand your options for when you do retire, you need to start preparing for retirement well in advance. Obviously, yes, you want to start thinking about your money and your investments and your taxes and your distributions and all the things that come along with the financial aspect of retirement. But there's so much more. That's why we talk about the people, the plan, and the purpose, is because it's more than just the financials. So today, we're talking about the options, the ones that I keep on my phone, just to get your mind thinking a little bit about what you might be able to do or what you might want to do for an extra side job in retirement. Number one, an umpire at a baseball field. I remember the first time I ever put this note down, we had taken my family to Arizona and had gone to a spring training baseball game. My family loves baseball. It's kind of our thing and we really enjoy it. And I remember thinking, how cool would it be to be an umpire at a spring training game? That would be a really cool job. And if I was retired, I would have time to do that. So bam, it went on the list. And I'll just run down the list and give you some ideas. These can be silly, they can be fun. That's the entire point, is to get you dreaming again. What we don't want to have happen is that you get to retirement and you get depressed or you get sad because you don't have anything to do. So keeping a list of the options that you might have is really exciting for some people because it gets them to understand that this is not the end. This is just the next stage. And the next stage can be the best stage if you plan appropriately for it, which means planning in advance, maybe even dreaming a little bit and making some notes. So I'm going to give you a few ideas. And again, this is just my list. This is not my recommendation to you. You'll probably have your own list, which will probably look very different from mine. I share this sometimes with friends and family and they laugh at me. But I really do think all of these things would be really fun. And that way, when I retire, I don't have to start from scratch and start thinking about what I might want to do. I've got ideas, and I encourage you to do the same. So I already told you about being an umpire. The next one is working at a Buc-ee's. Have you ever been to a Buc-ee's? It's this amazing, huge gas station in certain parts of the country. If you've never been to one, I highly encourage you to Google it and look at it. It's absolutely insane. It's like a restaurant and a bazaar and a store and a gas station, like all these things tied up into one. But everybody in there seems to be having a great time working. They cut this brisket every morning and they do this song and dance, which I'm not gonna do because I don't know it. But I remember thinking last time I took my kids to Buc-ee's that that would be a fun place to work if I was in retirement. So it went on the list. Next, a starter at a golf course. Work at a golf course if you like golf. For me, I love golf, so I would love to sit at the first tee of the golf course, make sure nobody's sneaking any food and beverage in, and make sure all the tee times get done in time. Next, just a general volunteer. I literally wrote the word volunteer. Sometimes people don't want to work for money. Maybe they want to work specifically for the purpose element in their retirement. Volunteering is a great way to do that. So how do you figure out where you want to volunteer? Well, first, you think about the causes that you care about. Maybe you love animals and you want to make sure that dogs and cats in your city have a great place to live. So you go to a foster animal shelter and say, I want to help out and see if I can't place some of these animals with loving parents. That would be a great place to start. And what you do is you test it and see if you like it. Remember, nothing is final. You could decide, you know what? I don't like it that much after all. And you can do something different. That's the beauty of it, is you have options and you get to retire on your terms, or retire with intent is what I like to say. Sounds catchy, doesn't it? I like it. Retire with intent. So try things out. Go to the library. Work with the library if you love books. See if you like helping people pick out their next favorite novel. Go work at Goodwill store where they take in used clothing. Go work at a homeless shelter. There are all kinds of ways. So I'd start by brainstorming. What are the causes that mean something to me? Maybe you go to a church and you want to work at the church. Maybe they need part-time help. Maybe the work that you did before you retired can be used in retirement in a volunteer position to help other people. The world is your oyster. You have all kinds of options. You simply need to sit down, put a pen to paper, put some notes down, and then start to explore and usually test out to see if you really like what you're going to do. All right, next in line, being a professor. I've always loved teaching. I had the opportunity to teach back in the day at a university for a bit, and it was so much fun. And so I remember thinking, I love college towns, I love learning, I love students, I love teaching, I love education. What better way than to bundle all of those things together than to be a professor? So being a professor might sound terrible to some people. It sounds amazing to me. It's gone on the list. We'll run through the last few ones here. Again, this is just an exercise to get you thinking a little bit. And as I pause, if you have any questions about any of this, feel free to go to our website. If you'd like to talk about any of this stuff or just brainstorm retirement, you can actually click the link in the top right-hand corner and schedule a time to book a Zoom call directly with me. And also, if you'll click the link below, we do have a resource for you. Some of you might be thinking, I'm not prepared at all for retirement. And guess what? You're not the only one. It's okay. It's part of what we do. You're going to be okay. But what you need to do is start now. Whether you're 40 years old or 65 years old, if you have no idea whether you're heading in the right direction, it might be time to run through a checklist and see if you're handling the things that you should be handling. We have a checklist for you. It's the 32 retirement things you should consider before retiring. I don't even think that's the official title. It's going to walk you through a checklist of things that you should be thinking about prior to retirement. So in the comments in the link below, you can click on the link. We'll send it to you. We'll email it to you. You can walk through it on your own. And if at any point you want to talk more about it, just feel free to reach out. Shoot us an email, schedule a call via the website. I love meeting new people and talking to people about retirement. So without further ado, what are the next jobs? The final jobs on my jobs I might want to do in retirement. We'll run through these briefly. I don't want to give you all of the answers to the jobs I might want to do because I need to save some of them for myself. Next in line, being a person who works at Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A. It's amazing chicken. I would love to be the one that works there and gets to carry all the food out to people's cars. So I can surprise them and say, hey, thank you. And they'll say, thank you very much. And I'll say, my pleasure, because that's what you say at Chick-fil-A. A pizza delivery driver. This one sounds terrible to some people. It kind of sounds fun to me. I don't really know why. You could probably lump it in with being an Uber driver. Sounds fun to me because I just like seeing new places and exploring new things. Also, I don't know if I'll be able to drive that late in life, but we'll see. It goes on the list. There's a steakhouse in town. It's one of my favorite steakhouses, and it reminds me of going back in time. It's built out of a log cabin. It's this beautiful place, so I put down there, work at that steakhouse. Be a greeter at the steakhouse. I would love to go to spring training, back to the baseball theme, and work at a spring training center. I would love to open an ice cream store in a resort town. How cool would that be? And I know that's probably really expensive and a little bit of a moonshot, but you've got a dream. I go to these really cool towns when we go on vacation. I think, man, this would be an amazing place to set up an ice cream store. And my last item here, a very easy one for me, Uncle G's Sweet Shack. Uncle G's Sweet Shack. What does that mean? I've always thought ice cream, candy, big store, people coming in, bringing joy to their lives, excitement in a really cool place where people come to visit and it's beautiful outside and people are walking and riding bikes and it's idyllic. It just sounds like an amazing scenario. Uncle G's Sweet Shack would be the name of my candy and ice cream store that everybody would come to see Uncle G in person and have me scoop them some ice cream and put some M&Ms on top. So, I know it's a silly exercise, but for me it's really helpful to really envision what retirement's going to look like. So many people think about retirement in very vague terms and they only think about the financial aspects of it. And yes, we want you to be thinking about the financial aspects of it. It's what we do to help with our clients, but we also need to be thinking about all of the other elements of retirement. And as we've been discussing today, specifically, what are you going to do with your time? You have to have things to fill your time. It doesn't have to be a retirement job. This is just one idea. It can be whatever you want. Volunteering, hobbies, time with friends, whatever it is that makes you feel satisfied and fulfilled in retirement, that's what we want you to do. But you need to be thinking about those things in advance. So I encourage you, open up a phone if you have one, open up a notes app, and start taking some notes. Things will come to you from time to time. You'll be at the gym, or you'll be on a walk, or you'll be hanging out with a friend and you'll go, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Or you'll be at a store and you'll go, ooh, I love this place. Maybe I want to work here. Write it down. It doesn't have to be this intense exercise where you go write a novel and think deeply about all the things you might want to do, but you do want to think in advance before you retire. And with the financial stuff and having all these conversations, this is part of what we do for our clients. Nothing we've talked about today is advice. It's just some education to get you help thinking. If you want to dig in deeper and understand whether or not you're headed in the right direction and some changes you might need to make, both financially or with your people, purpose, and plan, or you want to retire with intent, like I said before, it does have a nice ring to it. I joke around a lot, but we love what we do. We take pride in our work of helping people prepare for and enter and live in retirement, and I'd love to talk to you about it. So again, feel free to get the resource in the link, or you can go to Ellis Retirement, which is also, I believe, in the link, and click the button, schedule a Zoom, shoot us an email, carrier pigeon, whatever you want to do. We're pretty easy to find. We'd love to at least meet you and see if we might be able to help provide you some resources. So enjoy dreaming about the jobs that you might do in retirement. If you have any, shoot them my way. I'm always adding to the list, and I'd love to hear your ideas. Appreciate it. Hope to see you next time.